Let's start the video. Vic and his spouse are shown at the beginning of the movie. Melinda is wed and has a daughter called Tracy. We watch Melinda get ready to head to her friend's house with her husband to attend a party. When they get to the celebration, she brings a babysitter to look after their little kid. Melinda walks out on her husband and gives Joel, a friend, a hug. She then presents Joel to her spouse before parting ways with them. Joel and Vic had a conversation regarding Martin, the man who used to be Melinda's lover. Vic informed him that Martin was close to his wife, which is why he killed him. Joel felt scared after hearing these remarks and fled the celebration. Joel's departure from the celebration infuriates Melinda. Joel denied having anything to do with Melinda's feelings that her husband was the cause of Joel's leaving. Vic loved his wife and was a very quiet person. After that, the pair went back to their house, and as the babysitter was leaving, Vic was giving her money. And he became enraged with her, telling her to come back and stop doing that in front of the babysitter. He went to her room and asked her to select someone more intelligent than Joel, which infuriated her. When she questioned him whether he loved her because of her intelligence, he replied that it was one of the reasons. She told him she didn't feel that way, and that's why she decided to start seeing Joel. She politely asked him to exit the room as a result. He then went to the basement where we saw his affection for raising and caring for snails. Melinda does absolutely nothing at all, but Vic is the responsible one at home. He makes breakfast and drives his daughter to school. He met a friend after dropping his daughter off at school. She questioned him on the murder he carried out covertly. When he questioned her, she informed him that Joel had informed the villagers that Vic was the one who had slain his wife's friend and had made threats to kill him. She assumed he was making fun of Joel since she was laughing so much. Melinda discovered her husband had threatened Joel when he got home, so she had him apologize. Vic's friends called him in to discuss the accusations Joel had been spreading, telling him that his wife is wrong and shows off her relationships with other people. They also pushed Vic to take control of his wife. Joel received an invitation to supper from Melinda. Joel informed them that he would be leaving the nation early the following morning and began discussing his new work in Mexico. Melinda informed him that she desired to travel to Mexico. Joel tells her that he would be delighted if she visited his home in Mexico, but Vic assures him that he will make hotel arrangements for her and won't abandon her. Subsequently, Melinda begins discussing her husband's boredom and expresses her desire for him to be an ordinary person. Joel wouldn't be seated with them, he informed her, if he were a regular person. Joel leaves to use the toilet. Melinda requested that her husband take their daughter to the room and read a tale to her. He does, in fact, lead his daughter to her room. After that, he observes his spouse socializing with Joel and dancing. They struck up a discussion. Joel encouraged him to come clean to him about what he did at the party, but he refused and told him to leave the house since it was becoming late and something bad might happen if he stayed. Joel ran off, terrified. They attended a party the next day. While Melinda was with her friends, she looked over and spotted him dancing with a girl. She attempted to hide her feelings of jealousy and annoyance towards her husband's actions. She was upset with him on the way home, but he said nothing to her. Vic got a call the following day informing him that his wife was sending money to someone to pay for piano lessons. He then began his search for this Charles after that. After finding it and going to one of his gigs, he left before his wife noticed him since he was shocked to see her there. Upon his arrival back home, he was informed by the news that his wife's friend Martin's body had been found. When he revealed this to his wife, she became emotional and began crying. When he got home, he was shocked to see a bouquet of roses in his house, even though he had seen Charles carrying one the day before. After tossing the roses in the trash out of anger, he attended to the snails and fed them before turning in for the night. They invited their close friends to a party they threw the following day at their home, and Vic was taken aback to see Charles there. That infuriated him, and he also witnessed his wife, Melinda, attempted to introduce him to Charles. He watched his wife after that, but he couldn't find her. Then, Vic and Charles remained outside as it began to rain. Then, a short while later, Vic went into the swimming pool. When Melinda discovered Charles's body within the water, she was taken aback and let out a loud cry of terror. Melinda accused her husband of killing Charles once the cops showed there, but he refuted her claims while remaining composed. Vic was inside, according to what Vic's buddies informed the police. After that, Vic is cleared of all charges because there is insufficient evidence against him. Vic then asked his wife whether she wanted a divorce, but she didn't respond. While we were observing him on his bicycle and contemplating the crime he had committed, he became aware that someone was driving by. Later, he saw the same automobile in front of a restaurant while out on the street. When he walked inside the restaurant, he saw his wife with a man. He started to get to know this person as he sat with them. Vic was dubious about the man's claim to be a psychiatrist, so he inquired about the location of his clinic. The man replied that he had only recently moved to the city and did not yet have one. Vic left them after asking him to show him his work ID, which he did not give. He went to a man called Don, who was circulating rumors about Vic after conducting multiple investigations. He also disclosed that Melinda had given them money to keep an eye on Don and that he had cooperated with her. He motioned for them to cease their activities. He witnessed his wife walking out with someone else on the way back to their house. At night, he came inside to look after his daughter. He overheard his wife talking on the phone with her new partner, who was also taking him to Brazil. When his wife's friend arrived home for dinner the following day, we witnessed him becoming extremely irate about what he heard. Even though Vic was upset, he made an effort to keep his cool once they had eaten. Vic stayed home and did the dishes while Melinda went out with her lover. Vic volunteered to give Tony, a friend of his wife, a ride when he saw him a few days later. Tony has already granted his consent. Vic led Tony into a jungle. Tony was scared and anxious. Vic struck him with stones once they got out of the car and kept hitting him till he murdered him. After that, he threw the body into the river while still tied it up with stones. Tony and his wife's relationship started to get better a few days after Tony vanished. Vic saw the body in the river when they visited the same forest. In order to keep his wife from finding out, he requested that they head back home. She informed him once they arrived home that she had left her cloth in the forest, so he made the decision to visit the forest by himself someday to retrieve it. Melinda went down to the basement and discovered Tony's wallet. When she discovered that her husband was murdering her friends, she began to cry uncontrollably. As soon as Vic got to the forest, she tried to bury the body by pushing it into the river, but Don appeared out of nowhere and began observing him because she didn't trust him. Don assured him he would call the cops when he saw him. Vic attempted to pursue him, but Don took off driving. Don is killed in an automobile accident as his vehicle plunges into a river. Vic then went back home. While she was waiting for him, his wife informed him that she knew everything about him. However, she also said that she was wrong and that her husband had not abandoned her, so she made the decision to move away from everything and live with her husband. Please like, share, and subscribe the channel. I will see you in the next video.